Hello there, how's your day? Ame Gakita this. Alright, so apparently in US there is a interesting case but with everything gone so damn wrong with such a story that the plot is so taken that there is a lot of people who go with making a joke out of this person, after that apologize for making a joke about him, and then back to everyone back to making a joke out of him. So basically what actually happened was that the man by the name of Harris actually got caught red-handed on live in a court live hearing on Zoom, apparently, that he actually was caught driving with a suspended license on live. And it really kind of like got so wild where he claimed that he was trying to drive to bring his sick wife to the hospital along the line. So with that being said, the cops were actually caught off because the man was actually got caught for driving without a license technically, and that with a suspended license he should not be driving, and with that he got caught by the judge on live on a Zoom, and then everything just went south for the man, because apparently he not only he have to answer for it, he got embarrassed, he got joke, he got attacked apparently, which I do not agree with the assault. But on the other hand, the story got taken as that it turned out that his license was unsuspended accordingly. So apparently the court in another place give the okay to unsuspend the license. However, due to apparently no good reason, that the channel between the one court to another office was not informed of the unsuspended license. So technically, he with an unsuspended license, he should have the right to drive, and that because of everyone in the world hate the government or the law apparently, that everyone start apologize to him, everyone starts praising him as a hero, the unsung hero of that people trying to say that, hey, maybe, just maybe it was the government or the law fault. But sometimes the plot is so thick, like a freaking soup with a lot of star powder on it, apparent with that, and that in the first place, he never had a license. And that is this story. If this story is enough to make Charlie, also known as the most critical of Penguin Zero, to do a 3-part of it, where he did he say he mentioned that he make a joke about it because he find it funny, only to give apologize for that maybe that when it come to government stuff is never a good thing, and later on he was like, wow. Yeah, I mean, like when I was looking at the comment throughout, it was so funny that I actually knew about this kind of thing. There might be more to it, alright? I knew in the back of my mind, I was like, this has to be the most stupidest thing that I ever come across, and I say that and this is one of the reasons why when this was like blown out of every proportion, I did not do the random check. The reason why was that, number one, I was looking for more information when the first story come out about who is the person is along the line, until when Charlie did the video about the thing, that I was like, that's something weird. I guess there's also I have to be thankful that I was in real life, that I couldn't really do a lot of mass recording for the next few days to do along the line, and I guess because of that I was able to give a lot of case a wait and see approach. And I mean, like, if the story is so thick that even picking people is able to talk about get me off this world, right? It's really just how insane the number of people who is quote recreating about this kind of thing, where people is either laughing or wondering like, how is this even possible? Like, so in Charlie's best word ever is that, how can you suspend an imaginary license? And it really shows how crazy this whole story start from when it's all about this man being caught on live about driving without a license in the first place. And I actually have to give it to him. Like, despite for me who have a license, an actual license in Singapore, and yet I do not drive. It's not that I can't drive, it's just that I have not drive for quite a long while, and that I have to, in my own heart, that I have to consider taking a refresher course to ensure that if I want to drive, I am putting not only my life but other people's life on risk if I drive without a proper license, or even on the case of not without the knowledge again. Because if once you stop driving, you kind of like lose a little, you kind of get rusty along the line and you can't drive. And even if you do drive, even if you do know, it's best to take a refresher course to kind of like let you get used to driving a little bit better again. It's just not that expensive. I know it costs money, but sometimes that little bit of money go a long way. And apparently, as I mentioned money, it's funny that the reason why the called to the office about the unsuspended license was that it was not on fault of the government's or the law side, but the man's side. So I know it's very frustrating sometimes that all you need to do is just pay up a little bit of money to ensure that you are able to do everything correctly. So what actually happened was that this person apparently failed to pay in US dollar 125. That was enough to inform the court that he has paid for it. I'm not sure is it the processing fee or penalty fee along the line, but failing to pay that was the court was like, oh hey, if you're not paying it, I guess you do not need the license or something along the line, and that we can't hold on it. And even though the license was unsuspended, all he need to do is just paying that amount, and it will be informed to the office, and that will stop his license from being suspended. I'm guessing that the reason why the suspended license was in the first place put as such thing, despite not having a license for in the first place, was that it was to prevent him from getting another license in any other place. Because when you have not a license and you're trying to apply for it, obviously there has to be a reason to prevent that from happening. But in the first place, I guess that they have to put up. This is really one of the reasons why I say the US system is really very updated along the line, is that sometimes you have to put new word or new stuff into the system to ensure no such thing happen. And this is such a small little issue that actually got blown out because it was I'm not sure, is it because of Charlie Sun who put out the video, or because it was the whole thing about being caught red-handed on live that was the issue along the line. But it got so out of proportion that it really showed how crazy sometimes a failure on one part can cause a huge problem. And it got so problematic, it got so viral that it became the laughing joke, where because it's not because of what the man did, it's not because of how stupid this whole thing is, but it just shows that such a small little thing is enough. A small little mistake, again, I have to highlight that, is enough to make a whole big catastrophe at this point of time. And I actually laughing not because of this man, it's not because of how the system failed, but actually at how sometimes a small little mistake is really all it takes to create a huge problem. And I know sometimes people will say that, hey, people do deserve a second chance, don't get me wrong, he still deserves a second chance. But at the end of the day, it's really back to the point of that, who is able to ensure that he will not make the same mistake, or maybe in the case that the court will prevent this such same mistake on the failure on anyone's side to be put out. Because at the first time, when the reason why I kind of like put on her about this is that it's not about how funny it was, and it's really not in my policy to make a joke of anyone unless if I feels like it. And it's really kind of like there was something more to it. And when the story about him talking about that he's trying to drive his sick wife, which is a very good thing, because when you have someone sick near near to you and it's your loved one, your significant half, obviously you would think of any way to bring the person to the hospital to have a checkup, because it just shows how caring he is to his own wife. And I have to give it to him for two parts. Number one, he is a caring man for his wife. Secondly, he is able to drive without a license. Well, based on the new update, right? Apparently, he is trying to ensure that he's going through the proper channel of getting his license, which is a good thing. I would still link to the three-parter of Charlie Z0 video about this man. So if you guys are more interested and knowing the full story, go and check it out, because it's a wild ride, like as Pipa-san mentioned. It's really so crazy that I actually smell something in it when not only he was caught red-handed, and he was and what got a lot of people laugh, it was that how he was like, I'm driving, I'm parking, hold on. You are actually called for driving without a license, right? And yes, I know, along the line. And that was really enough to say, the question we have to ask at the time was like, are you driving without a license? It wasn't a suspended license. It wasn't an issue on anyone's side, but it really just showed how crazy that people was making fun and then apologizing and then making fun, when sometimes a small little issue on all of our part is a wait and see approach does go a long way. But again, I can't deny that there is a possibility that because of how blown out this or how viral this whole thing is, that it got the attention that required. And obviously the judge of this case was not very happy about how out of proportion this story got on. And the only update that I do know is that apparently in around 2 months time, he will need to attend the court for two different things. One is about the suspended license, which I'm still wondering, how are you able to have a suspended license when he doesn't even have a license in the first place? It's really just show how F out the system is and how effing this whole joke is in the first place. And I guess it's really one of the time when sometimes you have, if just putting up a suspended license is enough to prevent the person from holding a license, and that some like I'm not sure, is it like the whole issue that the court never really put up a letter or notification to inform the man that he have to pay $125 along the line, or that the man just doesn't feel like paying in the first place along the line. I guess there is a lot of like system failure in this point, but at the same time, how failure is that, how is the man able to drive without a license? I mean, like, if his wife is sick, I guess the most logical way, if you don't have a license, is call a taxi. But I guess the man might have panic and so carried about his wife that he have to drive it himself. But that is really when I say that even for me, without with a license and still not be able to drive, and he's able to drive without a license, it just proved to show that sometimes there is a lot of different kind of people in this world. You can have the license to do thing and you can't do it, or when you have no license to do it, yeah, you can do it. It's basically telling the whole damn world that sometimes you have the experience, yet you can't do it, or when you have no experience, yeah, you are able to do it. Life advice number one over there. So the thing is that at this point of time, I don't think I want to make a joke out of him, because this whole audio is already a joke in on itself. I mean, like, no offense to anyone, even to the law itself, but sometimes it seems to me there is some sort of like system error in some part. It can be also that the court they have the whole bit of responsibility for maybe not informing the man, Harry's son, about the payment on the line, or that if they do actually show that, then it might be the failure on the man's side, where he didn't say he want to pay it along the line. Who knows? There is still a lot of things that is need to unravel here, and this really when I decided to do this video is because I feel like the next update will be on August, unless someone is able to dig more deeper than me. I am unable to do too much at this point, but it's really just show how crazy this whole story is. And I don't think I should be making a joke, and I do find that if he do get assault, you guys are gonna make sure that you better come to me and get smacked in your butt with a 3-meter baguette, because I don't like people going around assaulting people, and that is one thing. I mean, like, we can joke about it, we can make fun of it, but going along with assaulting or trying to make embarrass or public humanity in the first place is not a good thing. Sure, what I'm talking about is really not a good thing as well, because I'm actually saying, but I'm not laughing at him, because the thing is, right, like I mentioned, he seems like a kind man who is caring about his own wife. He do deserve a little bit of respect at this point, but at the same time, he need to understand that sometimes a little bit of dumb team is enough to make a lot of people laugh about it, and that he need to understand that sometimes a little bit of understanding the whole situation is willing to change the whole thing. And at this point, what he need to change is not about only his public image, but to also change about don't touch the damn car for now. Because if he's having not a license in the first place and he's driving it without the license, then I don't know what his mind is thinking in the first place. I mean, like, if you don't have a license to do so, don't do it. That's the most simple thing. Again, I know that very well that sometimes when you have no license, and yet you have the skill to do it, you can do it. But again, I mentioned, if you really want to do it, there is a very good saying that in Singapore, you can do whatever you want as long as you don't get caught red-handed for doing something that is illegal. And I guess this really just showed a whole lot story about being caught red-handed. But again, I don't advise you guys to do anything that is illegal, and do make sure not to do something like that in this point of time. But anyway, with that being said, this is just all of my speculative thought, my random chat. And if you do have your own thought, your own idea, your own point or whatsoever, just write in the comment below and we can discuss it further. But if you bless you. That was my cat. Anyway, with that being said, if you do like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe for more in the chat. And with that, I need to take care of my cat for now. So hope you guys have a nice day or night. Bye.